Spent years screaming in the silence, until I realized someone was listening. Yeah. Every morning felt like dragging chains across the floor I couldn't leave. My reflection knew my secrets before I ever tried to breathe. People said you'll be okay, like those words can move the weight. But the walls I built around my heart only learned to imitate. I memorized the sound of fear, it sounded just like me. 1,000 conversations nobody else could see. Smiles became disguises, sleep became a stranger. I kept pretending I was safe while shaking inside the danger. I blame myself for every scar, every dream that fell apart, every prayer I whispered softly that returned to a broken heart. I kept searching through the darkness, looking for a single spark, never knowing hope was waiting just beyond where I stopped. Maybe strength was never shouted loud, maybe strength was standing when nobody was around. I was never fighting alone. See the hands beneath the storm, couldn't hear the calm inside the war. Now I know, even when my heart felt like a stone, I was never fighting alone. There were nights I counted every failure like they were all I owned. Built a prison from my memories and called that place my home. I let regret become my language, fear became my guide. Kept convincing everybody that I was doing fine. The hardest battles never left bruises on my skin. They lived inside my thoughts when no one else had been. Every step felt heavier, every breath felt late. Still somehow mercy kept opening another gate. Looking back I see the places where I thought I disappeared. Someone kept writing another chapter every time I drowned in fear. Maybe every unanswered question was preparing me to hear that silence isn't always absence. Sometimes it's where courage grows. I was never fighting alone, even when my hope was overthrown. Every tear I buried in the dark was counted before it left my heart. I couldn't see tomorrow then, couldn't imagine healing again. Now only celebrate the mountain after you climb. They rarely see the nights you almost left your life behind. If you're hearing every lie that says you'll never change, remember storms don't decide who you became. Maybe today you don't believe it's strong, maybe you've carried pain for way too long. But surviving another sunrise isn't weakness. Sometimes that's the bravest thing you'll ever do. I stopped asking, why is this happening? And started asking, what can this become? Every scar turned into proof that pain doesn't always write the ending. Sometimes it writes the beginning. I was never fighting alone, even when I couldn't carry on. Every broken piece inside my soul was slowly being made whole. The darkness never had the final word, even when all I heard was hurt. Now that brought me home, proof I was never fighting alone, fighting alone, fighting alone. If you're still breathing, fighting alone, your story isn't over. If you're still standing, there's purpose in your scars. And if today feels impossible, take one more step. One day, you'll look behind you at the ceiling, wondering if tomorrow knew my name. Every plan I tried to build collapsed beneath the weight of shame. I was chasing perfect endings, life kept handing me loose threads. Spent so many nights rehearsing every conversation in my head. People only saw the footsteps, never saw the bleeding feet. Never felt the silent battles hidden underneath the beat. Sometimes courage looked like getting out of bed at all. Some days victory was simply choosing not to let myself fall. I kept searching for a finish line, but healing isn't one in one race. Sometimes progress sounds like breathing, sometimes faith is simply staying in place. You were there when I couldn't believe, hardest prison isn't made of steel. It's built from words we choose to keep. I'll never change, I'm too far gone. Those lies become the air we breathe. I carry guilt like heavy armor, thinking punishment was love. Never realized forgiveness was already reaching from above. Every tear became a lesson, every failure left a sign. Not to tell me I was worthless, but to teach me how to climb. Now I don't fear every mountain because valleys taught me this. Even when I couldn't find a road, purpose never lost my address. Maybe you're listening right now, thinking nobody understands. Maybe you smile for everyone else while quietly falling apart. Maybe your loudest cry never made a sound. If that's you, don't mistake silence for abandonment. Sometimes the strongest help rise before you recognize it. There were days I wanted answers, now I'm grateful for the wait. Because every closed door kept me from another mistake. Pain introduced me to patience, failure introduced me to grace. The darkest chapters of my life prepared me for a different pace. I don't celebrate the wounds, I celebrate surviving them. The person standing here today was shaped by where I'd been. Every broken promise, every lonely road, every unanswered question taught me how to carry hope. I'm not standing here because life suddenly became easy. I'm standing here because I stopped believing that my worst day was my forever. The battle changed me, but it didn't own me. Home. I was never fighting alone. Not for one heartbeat, not for one night, not for one breath. New common punchline. If your hardest battle became someone else's hope, would you tell your story? Share it below. We're 1,000 different names. Regret, fear, loneliness. They all sounded the same. I kept asking why the road kept breaking underneath my feet. Never realizing broken roads can still lead somewhere complete. I chased approval like it owed me something I could never buy. Built my confidence on voices that disappeared the moment I fell behind. Funny how the loudest crowds become the quietest rooms. The same hands that used to clap can disappear too soon. That's when I found a different strength. One applause can never give a reason deeper than success. A reason simply to live. Some people think surviving means you never hit the ground. No, sometimes survival looks exactly like breaking down. Because broken things still breathe, broken people still grow, broken hearts still carry love even when they don't know. Every scar became a language, every tear became a page. Now my story doesn't hide the hurt, it proves I made it through the pain. If you only knew the nights I almost gave my future away, you'd understand why waking up feels like a miracle today. I stopped measuring my worth by everything I couldn't control. Stopped calling myself defeated every time I lost a goal. The mountain didn't move overnight, neither did my fear. But every step I kept taking made tomorrow a little more clear. Healing isn't fireworks, most days it's painfully quiet. It's choosing hope when disappointment feels much louder. It's believing that one more sunrise can change a life. There was a season I couldn't recognize myself. Every mirror reminded me of someone I failed to become. Dreams felt expensive, hope felt borrowed. The future looked like another empty hallway. But somehow, the same heart that learned how to break also learned how to beat again. That's something pain could never steal. I carry yesterday like it was chained around my neck. Mistakes became mirrors showing me nothing except regret. I forgot that mercy doesn't ask where you've been. It simply opens the door and invites you back in. The strongest people I've ever met still have tears they never show. Strength isn't hiding emotions, it's refusing to let them take control. So if your hands are shaking, keep reaching. If your voice is breaking, keep speaking. Even whispers can move mountains when they refuse to quit. I used to think the finish line would finally bring me peace. Now I know peace isn't waiting at the end of the race. It's found in every faithful step, every ordinary moment. You choose courage instead of surrender. Every time you forgive yourself for not being perfect. Every time you believe tomorrow deserves another chance. That's where healing begins. If this is the chapter where everything feels impossible, don't close the book. The pages that hurt the most often introduce the strongest version of yourself. You are not defined by the night that almost broke you. You're defined by every morning you decided to stand again. One day, the tears you're crying today will become proof that you survived. One day, the questions that haunt you will become wisdom you freely give away. One day, someone else will hear your story, and because you kept going, they'll decide to keep going too. That's how hope grows. One heart helping another heart believe again. It was permanent. Like one bad season could erase an entire lifetime of purpose. I kept collecting disappointments like trophies nobody wanted. Filled empty rooms with louder doubts than they ever deserved. But pain is terrible eyesight. It can show you everything that's broken and still miss everything that's growing. I stopped asking, why am I carrying this? And started asking, what is this carrying me toward? That's when the weight became a teacher. Every setback taught patience, every closed door taught direction. Every lonely night taught me how to hear hope without needing the noise. Some people only recognize miracles when allowed. Mine arrive quietly in another sunrise, another heartbeat, another chance to try again. Nobody celebrated those moments except the soul that almost gave up. But those invisible victories changed everything. The enemy wasn't always the world. Sometimes it was the sentence I repeated every morning. I'm not enough, I'll never heal. They were right about me. The longest prison sentence I ever served was written in my own handwriting. Until graves started rewriting every page. I've learned healing isn't forgetting, it's remembering. Without bleeding, it's saying the name of the person who broke you. Without letting the memory break you again, it's walking through places that once terrified you and realizing fear no longer owns the address. The storm never asked if I was ready, it simply arrived. But strength didn't ask permission either. It quietly grew inside every moment I wanted to quit but didn't. Sometimes courage looks ordinary until years later you realize it saved your life. If my scars could speak, they wouldn't tell you how much I suffered. They'd tell you how many times I chose to continue. Because survival isn't measured by how hard life hit you. It's measured by how many mornings you stood back up, even when your knees still remembered yesterday. Maybe the strongest version of you isn't waiting on the other side of success. Maybe he's waiting on the other side of surrender. The moment you stop pretending you've got everything figured out is often the moment you finally begin to heal. So if you're listening and you're exhausted, if you've smiled all day but cried all night, if you've convinced everyone that you're okay while quietly falling apart, hear this. Your pain may explain your story, but it never gets to decide how your story ends. I was never fighting alone, even when I couldn't see beyond another midnight. Even when my prayers felt heavier than my voice. Every step, every scar, every unanswered question was shaping someone who will refuse to disappear. Now I know hope wasn't waiting at the end of the road. Hope walked beside me the whole time. I was never fighting alone. Maybe tomorrow won't fix everything. Maybe next week will still be hard. Maybe the storm hasn't passed yet, but neither has your purpose. Take one more breath, take one more step. One day, you'll turn around and realize the person you kept trying to save was already becoming the person you were meant to be. Years from now, when someone asks what almost broke you, what will you say you chose instead? Leave one word below. Your word might become someone else's reason to keep going. Years from now.